And I believe we are now live for another episode of Rescue at Raxis. It's been a week or two. Things have come up, things have gone down. Last time, the party finally went inside the house that they paid through the nose to rent. Most of the party then had a negative reaction towards the house that they paid through the nose to rent. Oh, also, more importantly, I forgot about tradition. There we go. And now they've spent some time exploring their home, dislodging one of the old patrons because they found out what the purpose of their old house used to be. And they're currently gearing up for the nightlife, for the boogie, for the time to put on the glad rags and strut about town. For some of them, it's to see the show. For all of them, it's to witness something. And yes, whatever shall occur there. So currently, the party is in the musty remains of their home. It has doors. It's somewhat cleaned. A lot of goblin elbow grease has gone into it. A lot of prestidigitation. And the party were working out babysitting terms with the animals. And the general consensus was that Wolfgang can simply look after Pufflesworth. After all, trying to sneak in a dog might be tough to the theater. Especially one that is a wolf.
Yeah, some people don't believe the tuxedo.
Yes. Plus, they might just think he's carrying plague, since he is currently bald on the left side. So, gang, any preparations?
Zazul is going to clean himself up, shine up the scales so they're nice and pretty. Get some, make sure he's smelling good, so people don't chuck him out on sight.
Yes, you have it takes a little while, but you eventually become a little bit less of a filthy ratbag scale creature. You're a little closer to being a person instead of a monster.
Sounds like progress.
Yep. Also need to get out my various notepads here. Alright, not this one. Okay, there we go.
Before Cornelius leaves, he makes sure to take a look in the mirror and make sure he does not look like anything from the poster.
Yeah, you don't quite have as high a cheekbones. And of course you are cleanly swell. A little poking of stubble, but you don't have the pronounced facial hair that you used to. And from what you can remember of the poster, the actor seemed to have a bit of a taller face and more sort of sharper features. And without, of course, the hats, you've lost the main identifier. Who knows? People might take you seriously. Maybe. Siegfried, how about yourself? Since you seem to only be going to the show because you were strong-armed by the kobold.
The beard is going to be slightly groomed, but otherwise not a lot.
Typical New Yorker. Why bother dressing up for the play? Just come in with your plastic bags and sit down. And so you all set off. I mean, Castalia does take a moment to towel herself down, but, you know, it's a bit of a pointless gesture. The streets are pretty clear. You are seeing the beginning of the night guards. Groups of men in leather armor with spears. A few are looking in slightly heavier equipment. Some with crossbows slung over shoulders. Some with shields and clubs. Not many full armored knights, though. You're not seeing much blue and pink. And as you walk through out of the eastern quarter into the craftsman, you do actually start to see a bit more plate armor now. You see a few of them patrolling, but not sort of in a casual sense, as if they're showing how to do it properly. But you're also seeing that they're tabards, proclaiming their allegiance, which house they are, have been swung off a front and over a shoulder, folded. No one's really catching your attention. You're a decent group, but there's still passing travelers. There's still a lot of guys carting around boxes and liveware. The whole market is closed down. That is just once again open parkway with a lot of marks from the various tents and stalls. The air itself is quite balmy. A little bit of a chill, but the walls are breaking up the wind, so there's not much of an issue of getting, a proper foundering. And further on in the western quarter, there's much more traffic here. There's a fair few crowds that you're having to walk yourselves through and weave about. Siegfried, give me a perception check. You think there was someone familiar in the passing of the various throngs of people, but you didn't really catch a glimpse of them. Too many people just cluttering in the way, a few hats that look a bit like Cornelius's old one, bobbing along the headline of the people.
Nothing strange then. Okay.
Just a vague sort of itching at the back of the head, but, you don't feel in danger. Abnormally so. You know you're in danger, but you don't feel like you're in danger. And then, let's see, fucking hell. Where did I put that little note? Yes, there we go. Gotta get all my notepads out. And then as you wind yourself down off the main street onto the sort of more entertainment district, there's quite a lot going on. There's the odd fire-breathing act, there's a few singers just standing on soapboxes. Various assortment of buskers. They're just making the traffic narrow in a little closer. It's starting to get hard to just spread yourselves out a bit and mingle a bit more. There's gaggles of kobolds. A fair smattering of halflings and dwarves. And then as you draw yourselves towards number 14 there on the map, which is the Banded Knee Dance Hall and Playhouse, there is actually a familiar face once some of the crowd parts away. Donned in bowler hat and marked up armor, there is a broad, squat, unsightly figure staring at the poster.
Hello, friend.
Oh God. I'm just gonna turn around and sigh, be like, son of.
Well then.
Are you here? Are you here to see the play as well? It looks interesting.
Is that what this is? I don't know. I was just reading the poster. I'm looking for. Is there a drink? Do they serve drinks?
Malgurn, you're remembering that
here.
Malgurn, you're remembering your time at the camp. Ingratiating yourself with the new mercenary company that you're going to spend some time with. Then there was some strange laughter when they saw some of the ways you fought, some of the stories you told, and they even finished off a few of them in a different way. And then one of them unrolled a ragged old poster that looked much like this pristine one on the front of the large dance hall.
Oh.
And they said you should definitely go see the show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Apparently, you lot became a play.
Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, I have to see it, I guess.
Is there anywhere selling wine or something around this area, like by the bottle?
I mean, if you look to your right, there is a full bar. A couple of bar buildings. Some are a bit more open plan.
I was just wondering if we could get Cornelius to sneak in a couple of bottles. This group may need it.
I already have bottles on me, remember?
If he can get them,
have a nappy.
can he get them out subtly though?
That's another question.
And then just watch as Siegfried starts shoving his hands into Cornelius's pocket.
There is also a great smattering of various scents of roasted nuts, sizzling meats, various dried fruits and bundles of candied sweets. There's a lot of stuff getting hawked at you guys right now.
Zazzle's going to grab an interesting selection and see what's out. Explore the culinary.
Are you
Display.
going cheap, or are you just throwing coin?
Average, not overboard.
Do you have coin to
I
throw?
went overboard. I have coin on me, yes.
What have you got on you?
But you didn't take it all.
No, I've been back to the house since then. Peopled my pockets. I have 2 silver and 41 gold.
Well, how much are you gonna splash on then for snacks? These are, these are entertainment indulgences, so prices usually tend to start at the silver and go up a bit.
I'll probably 10 silver.
10 silver. For that, you've got yourself a bag of nuts, big sort of roasted chestnuts, in fact. In your other hand, you've got a couple of apples on sticks, just on sticks.
Okay, I offer them around the group if anyone's interested as well.
Now let's see. You would have had a few other things. I'm trying to think now. Yeah, you would have had a few, like sort of a bag of dried peas, some sunflower seeds, various nibbles. You see. And also probably a kebab. So they're just loading you up with armfuls of stuff right now. You bought out most of this elven woman's tray.
Oh, thank you, man. This looks excellent.
Ah, thank you, darling. This is a wonderful. I can just skip off for the night.
Glad to be of service. Thank you.
Enjoy the show.
Oh, I will. Oh, damn.
I think it's just darling how some of you have shown up dressed as the characters.
Oh man, I give her such a stink eye.
And Ray's and Stitch is almost on
You've
the
got a surly look down right.
They are very invested in these characters. Very invested.
Although I don't know what it is a guy sees in Copy and Frida, but sure. You go ahead there, love.
Thank you.
And she happily goes to refill her tray, possibly. Hawk some more wares.
I bent down to Malgorin and says, I point to my head, why do you think my eye went off? Exactly.
Just so disgusting.
You are
Especially with
seeing...
Cornelius. I've totally forgotten about the insult. I'm just more like, yeah, you
You are seeing a fair age bracket of people going in. Mainly you're seeing adults coming out, but you're seeing families going in. Old folks going in. There is, every time the door opens, there is raucous music that is slowly getting quieter and getting replaced with nothing but conversation. As more and more people start to filter in, paying their coin. And then, from the other direction of the street... Ah, hail there! I was hoping you guys would show up. And it's the elf, Tall Green Fallowinter. He is dressed down. Simple, modest-looking tunics and trousers. Bit of a jerkin. And a vest.
Why, hello, friend. Fancy meeting you here.
Well, I did invite you.
It happens.
It does. It's nice to see all of you. As he just gives a quick glance over at Castalia. So, shall we go on in?
I imagine Castalia just shrugs.
Yeah, I imagine there's no reaction. So,
Why not? Let us go. Excellent, excellent.
And as you head on inside, it is at first dark, but also strangely vibrant, in that the main central area, where the audience are sort of shuffling around to get in their seats, is pretty much pitch black. There's a few people who have maybe the light cantrip. They're making use of it, but in general, all the lighting, all the great colourful splotches and bits are on the sides and up at the big main stage. There's a lot of staff members running around in feathers and skimp. There are people in full-on suits. There's a heavily crowded bar. It is about 4 people deep, as they're just gathering up for just enjoyable libations after a thrilling show, and a new one starting up.
How much was the entry fee for us?
Nothing. Tall Green paid for you lot.
Excellent, excellent.
And then you get shown to your seats. You're not able to go front row, but you're second. You know, you're good enough. You're not up in the gods or anything.
Can I get a round of drinks for our group?
You could try.
I can try. Okay.
You
What's
are a
that?
kobold, and it is a lot of human-sized
Or
people.
Acrobatics then, I guess.
I'll give you acrobatics to try and sneak between the feet. You duck, dive, dip, dodge, and dive. And you manage to get yourself up to the bar, but, you know, face on with it. And you're looking up. There's a lot of arms passing over you. There's a lot of beer. There's a lot of suds. There's droplets. You may have to scrabble.
What's that? Athletics? Get up the top?
Yep. Oh yeah, easy enough. It was a very low DC anyway. But you're able to get your claws in, you're able to sort of jump, scrape, and cook yourself over the edge. Drag yourself up. There's bodies pressing against you. It's just people are not enjoying their position being jockeyed by some little upstart, but you manage to push yourself through. You know, a little bit of a hello friend before asserting yourself, I'll have beer.
I have a selection of beer and wine for about, what are we up to? 8 people?
Sure.
Excellent, excellent. Just whatever's going. Just give us a selection. It'll be most enjoyable.
Selection? Right, I'll be 2 gold then.
Oh, sounds fair. Excellent, excellent.
And you see, in front of you, are 3 jugs of ale, 2 half bottles of wine, 1 broad bottle with sort of a golden liquid flowing in it. Like it is sort of as big as your head. And then 2 shot glasses. There is no tray. There you go, enjoy. And he goes off to deal with the other customers.
Fuck.
Kind of looking around and noticing. Saying, where is Sarsul?
Malgun, I have drinks.
Oh, that's the best thing I've ever heard you say.
It doesn't help though.
Technically, he never asked for help.
Yeah, and then, okay, so he didn't ask for help, but I realized, I was like, oh, I think I know what he's getting at. I will gladly take some of these drinks off his hands.
You are able to bully and push your way through. You just part the sea. And due to the dwarven anatomy, with the webbing between the fingers in order to carry extra pints, you're able to haul all the various assortment of random-ass drinks off the bar and over to the second row seating, along with Zarzul.
Wasn't even a challenge.
Nope. Also, dwarves are born with a marsupial pouch where they can stash nuts and crisps.
It's the beard.
And so you all settle yourselves down.
Yep. I hand out snack food and drinks to whoever will.
Yeah, how do you hand out the booze?
Whoever grabs whatever, actually, basically. I'm gonna hold on to the shot and one of the shots, and there was an interesting bottle there, so I might keep hold of that one.
It is incredibly fragrant as it hits you. It is very apple.
Is there a label?
Nope.
I'll save this for later. And knock back the shot.
Burns. It's a nice burn. It's a good tingle. You're not, it's not feeling caustic, it's feeling like a nice scorch. You're getting other things as well, a flavor of various kinds of wood. A bit of honey, just a hint. But it is mainly a burn that's going on. You'd say it's high quality, Cornelius would say it's scraping the barrel.
I figured as much.
And as you guys get yourself settled, you can see that there's not just curtains and all being arranged, there is quite a number of people on stage who fairly utilitarian sort of wear, but they're not wandering back and forth, they're sitting at the sidelines. And if you're able to lean across and just see behind the curtain a little bit, you can see that there's even more waiting in the wings. But they're not dressed up, in any kind of costume that you recognize from your own adventures. And a few are drawing instruments as well. Then a hush goes across the crowd as one man in the gaudiest suit you have seen. It is in fact consistently changing colors as he stands there in front of you. Bleeding like
Zazzle is completely entranced by this suit. I have it.
In the way that you get the sort of reflection off water when it's hit by light, it's like that, but every little facet is a different color and constantly changing and flowing along the surface of it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Once again, we were going to bring you the show, The Heroes of Van Dalen. And of course, there will be audience participation. I hope your little ones know how to shout high.
Oh.
My head immediately goes into my hand.
Yeah, just imagine the 3 veteran members all sink lower in their bench.
And Rain is officially cackling.
There's a few little, clapping, smattering groups of kids in the back rows.
How much of those jugs of ale left now?
They're gone. They're gone. I drank them. But, oh man, they're gonna get it when I get back to camp.
And so I bring you the preamble. This is a true account of a story of great heroes from the Sword Coast, a place of many heroes. But they were aided by our very own Urmom Safat. They were aided in such beautiful ways to fight our great enemy, the Orcs. And they also triumphed in bringing back the glory of the Rockseeker family. They did so many things for the coast, and we are going to see most of those adventures now. So everyone, please be quiet as the show begins. And begin it does. It seems quite familiar to start, as onto the stage rolls a huge, swollen torso with massive arms, a full fake beard, incredibly fake in fact. His skin is pale and it's been daubed with makeup mostly on the face and the biceps. It could only be a Goliath from the mountains, one of the great hairless half-giant folk. But he is Megern, the great dwarven warrior. You can see that his legs have actually been amputated below the knees, but he walks with sheer strength and pride, in full heavy armor and horned helmet. Beside him, dressed in naught but a few scraps of animal fur, is a statuesque woman, over 6'2" in height, definitely human. This is Karen, the wild woman of the north, brandishing her huge axe. Then there is, slightly hunched, that familiar hat, that familiar beard.
Oh no.
Dressed in incredible finery, full flowing cravat, 8 or 9 layers tall.
Mm-hmm.
A thick ruff, painted face with lipstick. Is Calvain. Calvain Koran. The great wizard of Neverwinter.
Oh, at least they made no winter, so at least it's far away from where the family is.
And then, clopping on 4-inch heels. Full black leather. In an outfit that's not really appropriate for a family show, you'd think. Some of it looks a little too painted, but she has the dark makeup beneath the eyes, but actually looks kind of familiar. The sneaky warrior and thief, Frida. And it begins with the set itself coming alive. The musicians on the side start to play, and gradually forming up is illusory terrain, is the bar, well, an approximation of a bar, where you guys met Gundren Rockseeker, where he gave you your job. You were going to help escort his goods down towards Phandalin, or in this case, Van Dalen. Much of the dialogue is kind of improvised from what you guys remember. For one thing, Malgern, you don't even remember speaking to him except in grunts. It also seems like you're not family in this one.
Not as friendly, I take it.
The first goblin battle is all very good and exciting. There's also that chase where they're walking along the stage and you see, slowly slid into view, a bear trap with a goblin leg sticking out of it. Further along that, as they follow the blood trail, there's another bear trap with another goblin leg sticking out of it. And as they turn, a piece of the backdrop slides away to show in the background a legless goblin hanging from a tree while other goblins laugh at him. The goblins are in fact kobolds, and quite good disguises in fact.
How interesting.
But their cackling and tails have not been covered. Most of Cragmaw Cave plays out vaguely how you guys remember, a little more over-dramatic, and Frida seems very interested in the wizard's safety.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, much of the dwarf and the human's dialogue, or the barbarian's dialogue, is more akin to shouting. Lots of oaths of hatred. In fact, most of what McGurn says is oaths of various things, to beards, to sideburns, to great heaping chest hair. Which gets a lot of giggles from the crowd.
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Then there is the meeting with Yimmick, who is now a hobgoblin, and he has a great one-on-one duel with Frida, which you guys don't remember at all happening. There's also also Sildar does not exist. And they never clash with a bugbear. Then it skips ahead. You arrive in town in Van Dalen itself. The party here split. Cornelius deciding to head for his own accommodations to make sure they're prepared, while the party engage in nefarious alleyway fights with the Red Brands. In fact, there's quite a lot of combat in this one. All we see, however, of the wizard is he walks off sauntering, head held high, nose turned up, and then 2 or 3 robed figures follow him off stage. As it plays out, the wizard is not seen again until they start to explore the basement of Tresendar Manor. They can hear wails, they can hear screams, girlish rings of pain from behind a great locked door. The party bust it down to find poor wizard getting battered by two great muscled bugbears, but actually look like genuine bugbears. He looks so confused and hammered, he faints as the party rescue him.
Oh.
There's more fighting with the red brands. There is the door. At which point Megern turns to the audience. How possibly can we defeat this door?
Oh.
Does anyone out in the audience know? Can they help us? By the oath of the great fluffed beard of Magron, whatever can we do against this door?
Is it push or pull?
God damn it!
We'll give it a try. Good work, kid.
Thank you, good sir!
Was that actually Zarzul?
Yes.
Son of a bitch!
As the veterans just look across at him. The little stoned freak. And of course, they do pull it open and there's a great cheering. As they continue further in, they get into this dark laboratory room. Several boxes beneath a table. Frida, of course, always alert. Always the one in the lead. As she scoots down beneath the table in a bit of a gratuitous fashion, let's be honest here. There's a bit more hip movement than there needs to be. But then there's movement. The boxes shift and rattle. The chairs stir. But it's the walls themselves that start to ooze with great pseudopods, lashing out at the whole party. The entire room is a mimic. Another great fight scene as the bards work hard on illusory magic to make it all look as convincing as possible. Sure, you see that the weapons are fake, mostly just painted wood, and sure they go through the tentacles they're fighting, but it's all quite well acted in a way. It's mostly the dialogue that's the problem. Several times the fancy fop wizard is caught, smashed around, but always rescued by the comforting arm of Frida, who fights valiantly, single-handed with rapier in hand. The barbarian and dwarf standing shoulder to shoulder as they push and shove against the walls, they wreck this room up. And then the confrontation with this nefarious hunched-over mage with his great, shimmering, clear staff. Pulling himself free of Frida's arms, steps forth their own wizard. There's a great cacophony of colours and bright flashes and lights as the two begin a massive wizard duel. It goes on for some minutes. There's some light applause, there's some oohing and eyeing, until from the wings, Megern leaps and smashes himself in the midsection of the dreaded glass staff. An incredibly loud sound effect to show that the staff broke. It's still intact on stage, but they played the sound effect anyway. A few other little bits and pieces. There's quite a lot of conversation on the travels as we learn their entire motivation for their lives. It turns out that the wizard is actually traveling to restore his family's honor because they were disgraced at a great dinner party. He was not able to tell that it was in fact a fully cooked northern coast goose. He thought it was a southern coast goose, and he was laughed at. He was ostracized from all his peers. Of course, the silly rich man. Of course, this was his only drive for glory. Megern spoke of his honorable clan, the Great Rock Seekers, and how he would do everything he could to make them the greatest name among the bearded folk. And so he swore an oath on his beard for their beards. Karen didn't actually say a whole lot. Just said that she liked combat. She liked to fight. She liked to drench herself in the blood of her enemies and stomp upon their corpses. But only the bad guys, as she looks to the audience full of kind of scared kids. There is, of course, the Orc and Ogre tunnel fight. This one gets the crowd applauding every time there's a victory for the heroes. It actually plays out pretty much identically to how you guys did, as you just jammed up the cave and kept on fighting them rank by rank, pushing the creature over. But then it starts to push back. They're starting to lose ground. It's very strange. Then the man in the ever-flowing colors comes out on stage and says, "Quick, quick! We need strong men. We need strong, full-armed people to come up and help the great heroes.
Oh,
Who'll stand up? You, sir!" And you can tell Cornelius who he's looking at.
No.
You, sir, and the bearded friend beside you, yes?
By the way, Rain is legitimately cackling and tears are streaming down her face.
Cornelius, are you still wearing your hat?
No.
That's why I pointed out to you.
Okay,
I
good.
remember
Neither
to
of us are
remove
wearing
the
our
hat.
hats. This is okay.
No, you're still wearing yours.
Oh fuck yeah!
I don't know
oh.
if you took it. I don't know if you took it off before, but
I don't think you can after the hill giant hit you.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's probably stuck there.
Come, please help! The heroes are struggling against our hated enemies. So a few other people are coming up on stage. There is the mixture of incredibly scrawny person and slightly buff guy. A few of the mothers are also pulled up and they're helping out. The kids are cheering loudly. And he's still got his hand outstretched to you two.
Go on, you two. Come on.
I'm looking at Cornelius for guidance here.
Come on, listen to your lovely wife. Come up on here.
that was a greater insult than what said.
Yeah,
You're me going out there right now.
Ooh.
Go on, Cornelius. Otherwise, he's going to keep thinking we're married.
You know what? On second thought, the stage seems safer right now. I'm gonna go. This is getting too awkward. Yeah, I'm going.
There's a few double takes from some of the actors as you start to stomp up. But there is a cheer. Everyone likes a big, heavily armored dwarf warrior.
Hooray!
As he stands up on the bench itself, waving. This gets a little swarm of kobolds also doing that. Yeah, go on, go for it. And of course, your whispered instructions, just play it up for the crowd. Don't push too hard because you might hurt someone. Just basically look like you're struggling a bit. It's okay, mate. Great outfit, by the way. You look just like him.
I just try not to react to that. Just hope he doesn't notice.
Does Cornelius get up on stage, or does he sit where he is?
No. I'm full with Melkor, I'm not gonna let him have it.
Yeah, you're right.
For once, I'm gonna show some solidarity, and it's better than having to sit next to Rain. I would rather stand up at the stage being laughed by everyone than Rain alone.
I don't know, there's a lot of applause from the crowd as you guys get up. Because, everyone did who volunteered. They got a nice resounding round of applause from their friends. You guys get some from strangers, usually. As you head up and you start pushing, and of course, the party topple them. There's a lot of handshakes given out. Couldn't have done it without solidarity from our comrades in arms. And you're just guided back to your seats by a couple of ushers. A few thanks and all. Well done, well done. A couple of kids are looking at you guys in a bit of awe, because they never get called up for that sort of thing.
Zazul is clapping enthusiastically.
Rain is cackling.
That's the first thing I'm gonna notice. Is just of course, the kobolds and Pain. Yeah.
Once again, there's another time for the great wizard to shine. As they meet the red-robed Haman Kostor. Great, powerful necromancer. There are men in quite unconvincing grey paint getting smacked around by the rest of the team. In a great circle, as in the middle are the two wizards, who raise their wands, arms brought up, and then they just dive into each other, smacking, kicking, bawling, screaming as they pull each other's robes and push each other about. Finally, the fop managed to smack Haman away with his big ruff. Looking a little more like a traveller now, and there's some reassuring pats on his back. There's even a moment where McGurn says, "By the oath of my sideburns, you did a good job, you."
Right, Pio.
Just got home.
Welcome, welcome.
So much.
It's okay, there's
I
all...
hope it's been good.
Has it been good?
Wonderful. It's been glorious.
I think Cornelius wish he was. I think Cornelius wish he died by the necromancer's hand at this point.
It's looking like the
think
great
we're
wizard
both-
has finally got approval from his peers. But then there is Coneyberry. It is the wizard who steps forth. "Do not worry, I know how to handle a woman, even a dead one." As he walks inside the ruined cottage. Off screen. "Hello, you classy lady, you. How about you and I spend a few words together, yes?" And then he is flung out at high speed, caught by McGurn. "I do not know why she did not accept me for who I am. I am amazing," before fainting. Strangely, then it jumps very quickly to the travel to Cragmaw Castle. When the wizard realized he knew where it was, he'd studied maps. He knew exactly where the location was.
Well, at least it's better than, we actually.
Although there's only 2 opponents in that whole arc. We're King Clarg, who is now 8 foot tall, covered in spikes and metal. It's a great fight between McGurn, Karen, and Clarg. While Frida and the Great Wizard, who faints immediately at the fight, leaving Frida to carry him around while defending against the Black Spider, twisted, dark, elven martial artist. It is an incredibly acrobatic fight as the 2 of them pass the comatose form of a wizard between each other. Then, Wave Echo Cave. The climax. There was an intermission at this point where you guys were able to stretch your legs a bit, but it didn't take too long for bars to get their breath back for all this beautiful illusory terrain to come back and play. Any comments during the intermission?
Go see this play, they said. Malvern, you should really go in town and see the play.
Siegfried.
I'm gone.
No, you're back here.
You are stealthing in a theater seat. You are hunched down about the height of an 8-year-old, but you are still incredibly obvious.
He's trying to pretend like one of those kids that wants to get picked. It's not working.
Siegfried, have another drink.
Siegfried.
I don't know, how long has it been?
I passed him the other shot.
So far, it's been about 2 hours.
Oh god.
It's been a really long, thorough show. You get your money's worth of this one.
Yeah, there might be slim pickings for those drinks because I am drinking a lot.
That's why a lot of the Adel crowd fucking flew out of their bench seats in order to go to the bar.
I'm assuming Cornelius has been sneakily bringing out bottles of wine to keep on chugging.
No.
What have you guys been doing during the show?
Rain's just been watching quite interested. She is finding this hilarious, and at this point, she finally turns to Cornelius and says, "You tried to chat up a ghost."
Not in the terms as this play suggests.
Then what did happen?
She said no when I left.
So you did try to chat up a ghost.
I was trying to ask her to give me a mirror.
By hitting on her?
No. By asking politely. I know that's a strange thing for you to know about, but I asked politely.
Temper.
Temper?
Zazzle is going to go get more drinks.
I've got
and beckons Malgern to help him.
I forgot Droop was here this whole time. He is loving this. Although he does find it very weird to see that Cornelius was in the situation he was in. I don't remember you falling over all that lot.
Yes, that it. I'm
It's
afraid that's what the theater world calls creative freedom.
Oh. Did you really fight that wizard like that?
No.
Aw. That was fun, though. It was so funny. You got him right in the, you know.
Oh, do you want to know how I really got him?
Yeah.
Take out the. Is he referring to Glassstaff or?
Yeah, he's referring to Glassstaff.
Oh wait, we never met Glassstaff.
Yeah.
I thought he was referring to the Black Spider.
Oh no, actually, he would have referred to Hamon Cost. He was there for the fact that Glassstaff wasn't there.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's referring to when you fought Hamon Cost and beat him in combat.
Well, good. I've got more drinks.
Oh my
that's
God, we didn't win. We pleaded for our lives.
Yeah, he doesn't know that. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
You left him at the wagon.
Are you saying any of this out loud?
No, I just
Okay.
just
If
realized.
You are, I'm kind of like.
I was hoping you blurted that out on accident.
Yeah, I'm just
No.
Oh, Malgern is with us again? Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
temporarily.
Temporarily. He was at the theater.
Oh, that's perfect.
His buddy said to go see the show.
Going to town and see the show they did.
The theater
yeah,
is a
I'm
magical
gonna
place.
I'm going to retract my previous statement and say yes. That was exactly how I defeated him.
Okay. Wow.
I look over at Siegfried. Siegfried, is that really how it happened?
He was consultant on the show. Remember?
That doesn't mean anything. He's also named Frida.
He's also more stacked than Karen is, the wild woman of the north.
So unless we have something we don't know about Siegfried, yeah, I think there's some creative licenses here.
To be fair, when it comes to things you don't know about each other, it's pretty much everything about them.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure.
And at this point, I look at Rain and going, yes, but do you want to take this away from Droop?
Oh.
It's still a wonderful story. That doesn't mean that we don't need to know what happened.
There's a few people walking around with trays, hawking a bit of merchandise. Malgern, you do see that there is a little action figure. It is a wooden doll with some wire bits in it, so you can move the limbs of a broad, simple, cubic dwarven fighter.
I bet there is.
With a
Oh,
nice-
you don't want to get your action figure.
No.
Salazar has just blown another 3 gold on alcohol.
The action figure is
You were gonna
only
say you just blown money on the Malgern action figure.
the action figure is only 2 silver.
I look at Droop. Hey,
Sold.
So, God damn it!
I was about to ask Droop if he wanted it. I would buy it for him.
Yeah, if you pull the beard, the arm swings its sword. It's all just assembled out of little wood blocks.
That's adorable.
Droop's eyes light up when he sees you with it in your hands, Arzurzel.
The bunch really shouldn't pull dwarven beards. This is not right. But that's so interesting.
I don't know, I think that's fairly accurate. If you pull a dwarf's beard, he's going to attack. As Tall Green leans into the conversation.
Yeah, it'll be a straight punch to the jaw and another one to right cross into the other one.
There are, for 5 gold, 3 Cornelius sent hats.
Wait, for how much did you say?
3 gold.
A gold piece for that head.
No,
Jesus
3
Christ.
gold per hat.
Oh, 3 gold per hat. Jeez.
Merchandise, man.
I was gonna say, are we at Disney more?
There are little woodblock constructs of the rest of the party. The one for Cornelius is, of course, not that flattering. The ruff is much larger, and the hunch is more pronounced. You also can't really tell that it's sculpted on an elf.
I lean over and ask Droop if there's something he wants.
The whole set? No, that'd be too much. Maybe I'd like a Malgaren.
How much is the whole set?
About 10 gold, or 10 silver.
Yeah, I'll buy it for him.
As he just sits there with his little arrangement of these 4 noble heroes.
How good does the hat look, quality-wise?
You know, when
Where's Rum Rusher? I think we need an
I
artist.
laughed before
representation
when
for
he
this.
made jokes about you being my wife, but at this moment you're starting to act like my divorced wife having custody of a child.
No, I'm just being nice to Droop. He's
I
very
wonder where
helpful.
Kendra is. She just kind of left at one point. Yeah. There are no figures of the villains, sadly, because that's always the case with bloody toy lines.
So what's the quality on this hat looking like?
Really good.
Zazzle is
It's a really good looking hat. It looks like they made a
Stitching
prop.
tool?
Yeah, they made a proper high quality hat.
Zazzle is tempted to say he's not wearing his hood anymore.
I walk over to Sasu, seeing my look, and I grab him by the shoulder and just look down at him.
But you're not wearing it anymore.
I just shake my head
There is something.
slowly.
Both
Is
of
there a bowler hat?
you
is there
roll
a
a perception
hat?
check actually as you're examining the hats. Because you couldn't quite tell from the one on stage, or just the people passing by, because you weren't paying a huge amount of attention. Zarzul, you do notice that when Cornelius was wearing his, it had a lovely emblem of 2 C's, one back to back. Strangely, in this version, they seem a little more asinine. A little more cheekier. The emblem isn't quite flat, it's a little bit raised at the edges.
Oh dear, never mind.
But you know, that bit comes off. You could always just wear Cornelius's. He's not using it. There are a couple of
He
bowler
is
hats as
not
well.
putting his grubby hands on that hat.
There are a couple of bowler hats. They're only 5 silver apiece.
What's the quality like on those?
Just as good. It's just they're a simpler construction.
Bowler hat it is.
You actually only spend free silver because they of course give you a child size.
Excellent.
There you go, one for the scale, little man. You enjoying the show?
Oh, it is most excellent. Ooh.
Think you need to go a little bit easier on the ale, mate, but I hope you enjoy the rest of it.
Oh, don't worry, I got wine now.
And he goes to sit down in the 4th row while you guys are in the 2nd. Someone picks him up and puts him in the 3rd. Someone picks him up, puts him back in the 4th. He gets passed around by a few folk before he just vumps into his empty space he was in before.
Crowd surf.
Yep. Also your 5 gold lighter.
Okay.
And strangely enough, there's a little pitter-patter of very quick feet leaving the theater.
The kobolds are at it again. I'm fueling the drinking habit. You know, I'm gonna be a folk hero to these kobolds in this town.
Ah, the great pigeon, all hail. So,
The one whose round it is.
Yep.
Yes, always.
Always. He'll always get them in, lads, always. There was the dark time, the time when the barman said last call, but he wouldn't let us down, he ordered 4 more rounds. So, how accurate has the show been so far?
Well, considering they didn't almost die in the beginning, not very.
We don't mention that.
Apparently,
They didn't
even Siegfried
either.
didn't mention that. Mind you, it is for the kids, and they've got to have some nice heroes to enjoy. I will say, it's not all that flattering on yourself, Mr. Cent.
Yes, as I kind of scowl over towards Siegfried. I don't know if he's still in his seat or if he's snuck away at this point.
He's
So
probably
if
just...
he tries
just
to
very
sneak away, Rain will try to stop him if he tries to sneak away.
He's just wedged between Castalia and Rain right now.
More drinks for everybody. I'm assuming Malgurn's come back at this point.
Yes.
Malgurn and an extra staff member for how much you splurged on drinks. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, pardon me, excuse me, excuse me, pardon me.
I bought some additional drinks, and I'm just like, just put it on that thing's tab.
Is there another gold or 2?
4.
Yeah.
These are entertainment prices.
Got that.
This is why you should have stuck to your plan of having Cornelius snuck in wine bottles. Instead, you purchase at the bar.
I'm not wasting good wine on this.
Now he's got cover to draw them out. We're surrounded by empty bottles. Not going to notice an extra couple.
And once more, the man in the ever-changing coloured suit steps forth. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all. We are now about to convene with Act 3 of the Great Heroes of Van Dalen. The great chapter of Wave Echo Cave. Our heroes have travelled far and wide around the local area of Van Dalen. They have done so many great deeds. They have slew a necromancer, slew a great evil wizard. They have sawn off a horrible orc horde that were trying to bury their filthy mitts into the very dirt of the Sword Coast. They encountered a banshee. Not much happened there, but we can't blame him, huh? He just gave it a good, honest try.
Zazul is once again totally entranced by that coat. He wants that coat.
It's not even a coat,
Wondering where he
it's a jacket and trousers. It's a full suit.
Oh. He's wondering where he can find that in the market. There's got to be a place somewhere.
There's at least a place in the market where you can see things like that. And now they are about to do the greatest good of all. They are going to bring life back to the region, the entire region, all the downtrodden people who have been out of business. But they are going to do this because they are heroes. Isn't that right, kids? And they all yell. But first, there's a trip where they get their first true blessings. And perhaps more when we get the next chapter of their story. Apparently it's still in writing. But for now, we journey back. Just a day or two before they enter Wave Echo Cave. And as he steps away, it's the trip on the road. There's an overturned wagon. There's an ambush. A few more orcs against the party. Things are tough. There's arrows and javelins thudding into the cover around them. The orcs are charging in. It's getting desperate. So many of them.
Zazul's making appropriate noises.
So is Droop. He's very eager as he waves his little McGurn figure in his hand.
Aww.
Aww.
So are many of the other kids and lots of kobolds. But then, as McGurn tries to crouch behind the wagon despite being slightly taller than it even without the lower parts of his legs, there is a chest underneath that overturned cart. He gives a nod to Karen. She strides out with him. She takes the brunt of a blow. She covers him as he pushes over the wagon, throws open the chest, and inside he brings out a single-handled hammer. There is a great cheer from the crowd, emblazoned with a familiar-looking emblem for what you've seen on your hip, Malgurn. And he throws it, and you can tell it's illusion because it passes through the people playing the orcs but in one great arc it knocks him aside. And as the hammer comes back, by the oath of Ermom's beard, I swear an oath on my own, this is a fine tosser. And there is a resounding cheer from the people. Everyone loves a local boy. The hammer of Ermom Safat, I'll never lose in combat with this by my hand.
Yep, that's exactly what it does.
Technically, he hasn't lost. Karen falls to the side for a moment, staggered. Quickly, he pulls out the javelins, pulls free the axe that was lodged in her shoulder. She looks weak. He presses a hand to her face, this massive hand larger than her skull, fingers wrapping around the entire back of her head. By the oath of my beard, I will never let you fall, for you are my friend in arms. There's a bright white flash. The wounds are gone. She shakes her head and rises up. She spits on the ground, says, "Alright, what's next?" And next is Wave Echo Cave, as they head off again. There is combat already. The party are nowhere to be seen, as a great dwarf, in wonderful shoes, beautiful shoes, so majestic looking, is fighting for his life against these great wooden orc skeleton puppets. He gives his life. One of them is about to leap and cleave Mulgurn's head in two, but he takes the blow. In his dying breath, he whispers to Mulgurn, "Take my boots." And make sure that you take over this cave for the Rock Seekers. Don't let them be in here. Don't let them... There's blood pouring from his head now. His head is basically cleaved in two, but he continues to talk in this wonderful, continuous, never-ending monologue of such oaths. Oaths to even the hairs on his legs. Midway through this speech, Mulgurn is taking the boots off him and slipping them onto himself. He's still talking as they push him into a corner and start to put rocks onto him. He is talking about all the oaths and swears in honor of the entire Rockseeker family as the final stone is placed, and he continues in a muffled way to keep talking before they finally leave the room. And then you just see a lasso being thrown off stage and dragging the whole pile of fake rocks off stage with the body. Some of the encounters are very familiar. There is the swarm of sturges, which you can see the strings. There are lots of very obvious strings on them as they just sort of flap and slap about. Then there is the great horrible moment. Frida approaches a heavy stone door. As she pushes it aside, telling them all, "No, stay back. I will take this one on." She is pulled into the room by a great, wizened, grey-skinned hand. There's a horrible scream. Quickly, Calvin strides forward, throwing the door aside with his magic. The ghouls have Frida on the ground. She's not moving. He surges with power and throws lots of rocks, just picking up stones and throwing them at high speed at the various ghouls. He kicks Bones at them and tells them to get away, you horrible little shits. As they run away, he quickly walks over, brushes the ground before kneeling down on it to pick up Frida. It's a wonderful moment as the two look in each other's eyes.
Oh no.
As he pushes a health potion into her mouth. From the moment we met, you snuck into my heart and picked the lock of my love. And as the bottle falls away and smashes, oh please, Calvin, I've always been under your spells. And there's a great mixture of cheers and from the youthful audience as they embrace in a kiss.
Zazul is cheering.
Tall Green leans past Castalia to look over at Siegfried. Is this part accurate?
None of it is accurate.
I don't remember that happening, says Droop as he holds his little Frida and Calvin action figures and makes them kiss.
I look over at Cornelius. I didn't know you swung that way.
At this point, my hands are just blasting with electricity. It sounds like a high voltage tower at this point.
And then is a great revolving stage as the terrain keeps passing by, new spells being conjured up, as the party themselves rush through, smacking aside orc skeleton puppets, people dressed up as ghouls. They just keep running and chasing, and then the black spider with his staff and his great wooden puppet spiders.
Do these wooden puppet spiders look familiar to Zazul?
They look like puppet spiders.
Okay.
You haven't met many in the past, but roll me nature.
Okay. Better than normal.
You're convinced these aren't natural spiders. You're pretty certain these are not a normal species you'd find in the forests.
Will I get disadvantaged because of possibly being drunk at this point?
Yes, that's why it's a 7.
Okay.
You're pretty convinced, though, these aren't the type of spiders you'd find in a forest. Maybe a lumber mill?
Excellent. Okay.
But then,
Escape, possibly.
as the black spider twirls his staff, he yells out, "Darkness will envelop this land!" And it does. The whole stage goes dark.
Zazul is not concerned.
Yes, he is. You can't see through magical darkness. It is the actual spell. By the... On the oath I swore on my beard, where is the Hallion? And the black spider steps out on the front of the stage and starts to do very dramatic sneaking motions as he walks across the side, putting a finger to his lips. Shh. If only there was some young heroes who could call out and tell me, where is the black spider? The kids start to call out, he's over there. He's behind you.
Zazul is, of course, in this crowd.
So is Droop. The two of you standing up, cheering out, calling out where he is. And then, from the darkness, comes Ermom's Tosser, smacking the black spider, sending him in a twirl, and knocked out unconscious on the stage. They clap the manacles on them, the darkness spell is gone. There's a lot of resounding handshakes, and some oaths to each other. Calvin, you're a weakling. You're a fool and a coward. But I will always trust you for my life. And they embrace hard.
Zazul is cheering.
Frida and Karen look at each other and finally have the first line of dialogue between each other. Just says, "You're alright. So are you." And they carry the black spider away. The MC steps out, proudly proclaiming, "And so they brought great life back. They captured the villainous black spider. They slew all the villains of the lands. They are great heroes. They are a shining beacon of what we should attest to be. We will not always need to be warriors. We will not always need to be magicians. But we will always need to be brave, honorable, truthful, and most of all, we need to trust in our friends and comrades. I hope you have learned these great lessons from these wonderful heroes. Come out and have a bow." And of course they do. It's a great procession. The music is high. The crowd are cheering. There's a few standing ovations from the kids. Most of the adults are a little bit
Zazul is
bored.
yelling out, "Where can I get this coat?"
It's getting lost in the din of the crowd, though. And then
I applaud. That last message is great.
Tall Green also joins in a nice, simple, humble, clap of the hands. I actually haven't seen this one before. This was really good.
Absolutely.
Oh, jeez, that was glorious.
The lights are down, the stage is cleared. And now we will be taking a short recess for half to an hour, upon which we have the scintillating silk dancers, so now is a good time to get rid of the kids and just stay here, eh, dads? And for the mothers, well, you wait an hour later after that and we'll have our own beefcakes on stage. And then the house lights go up. Most of the decorations are gone, as is most of the merchandise has been moved to the doors. The play is over. People are starting to get up in their seats and leave. Costello, you've noticed that Tall Green sat close to you at first, but during the performance he did move away a little bit. And then you look at the bench and how you've soaked most of it. There's a great dripping puddle around you.
Oh, that was most excellent fun!
Says the kobold, surrounded by bottles. He can't actually sit down anymore because he's put too many around him.
He's sitting on the bottles now.
His tail's stuck in one at least.
Oh, it was so interesting to find out so much about you guys.
I don't think any of that was accurate.
Well, no, but it's still fun!
It was very entertaining.
I look over at Cornelius. So, Frida.
You're gonna have to ask him.
I don't remember that happening.
I lean over. Siegfried, when were you kissing Cornelius?
In your dreams, obviously.
Oh, in your dreams, apparently. You're the one who talked about it.
Was this before or after you started drinking heavily?
Which bit?
The, I guess, all of it?
During?
Yeah, the drinking heavily kind of happened after the quest and during the recitement of the quest to Nundro. Incidentally, Nundro didn't even appear in the quest. He had the good decency not to write himself into it.
Wait. He wrote this?
Yeah. Written by Nundro Rockseeker, with consultation by Siegfried and Ham.
Excuse me?
It was on the top of a poster, you wouldn't have seen it. But now that they've got out the posters, you can see, yes. You can see who's responsible. Also, roll me an intelligence check.
Who, me?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's just, well, just roll a d20. -1, I think.
That work out right.
Yep.
Nundro never asked you about the quest, weirdly enough. But you have a vague
that would be one of my questions, is how do they know this?
But you have a vague memory of being in something of a puddle of your own drool, some of it ale, and hearing Siegfried talk very animatedly and quite fretful with Nundro. Something about how there were ghouls everywhere and they were trying to eat my skin.
Yeah, so that answers my question of, it's not accurate, but it's accurate enough. They knew. Somebody knew.
Also, weirdly, they didn't include the flame skull or the ghost.
I'm guessing budgetary reasons.
So how accurate was this?
None, because we caught the villains in in the play.
Wait. So you guys didn't even complete what you guys set out to do?
Would you really tell her that?
At this point, I don't even care.
He's in just a sinkhole of despair.
Like anything to dispel the part of me making out with Siegfried.
So you guys didn't even catch the guys you were supposed. Oh hell!
We have
chase
no
them
real
all.
right to complain about that.
No, I'm not
We
complaining. I
weren't
just find
paid
it
to
hilarious.
catch them.
We have no right to make fun of people for that.
Yes,
Still?
it seems like the group dynamic here is that we kind of have unfinished business.
I mean, it's not all bad.
Yep, Zazzle's checking out the gift stores again.
I mean, there's the action figures, of course. There is a few simple archery targets of orc faces.
Not so interesting.
There's a little
Yes, of course,
small
we're-
version of the wooden spider puppet.
Not really. He's wearing the small bowler hat, by the way.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not all bad. So you're saying you didn't catch villains, but you chased them off? Right?
Yes.
Vandal... It is Vandalin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean,
It
it's a
won't
prosperous town.
exactly won't exactly take a whole lot to figure that out.
Yeah, but... No, I mean, I just didn't know the proper name. It's a bustling town now, though, isn't it? It's got a lot of business. It doesn't have these red brands hanging about in corners beating people up.
No, not that I noticed.
You chased away the orcs. There weren't any hassling the town, were there?
No.
I don't
You-
remember orcs.
It was one of the few things you were paid for.
Yeah, I think that was one of the few we actually managed to properly deal with.
Yeah, you even fought the orc war chief. You dealt with a powerful necromancer. I'm guessing those were robes of a Feyan, and you lived. And you reclaimed Wave Echo Cave. I've heard that used to be a big money maker back in the day. So, didn't you guys do a good job?
I don't see why you're so embarrassed. I mean, you're heroes.
Yeah,
Good enough is not always enough.
it's better than dead men
No,
that they
no,
just
no,
tell
no,
stories
let's see
about.
where they're going with this.
I mean, okay, so you didn't become shining beacons, but you saved a lot of people. You helped a region get on its feet.
On that comment, Zazzle is thinking about the suit once again.
I mean, the MC did walk off backstage, and there's only one guy manning the door. He looks a little distracted.
No, Zazzle thinks better of it.
Does he? Or does he just simply think, later?
Hey, Zazzle isn't the rogue in this party.
Yet, he could always
He's not
multi-class
done.
again.
Zazzle's size up to Siegfried. How much to get me that suit? Just one suit. That's all I ask.
There's this creepy little monster between your legs, Siegfried. Looking up at you.
Asking about suit.
His snout basically parting your beard.
No comment. I've got enough problems already in that respect.
Oh well, I'll just have to try the market. It must be out there. Somewhere.
Yes, I think it is that you guys did A good job.
Always.
I mean, it could use a little clarification on some of the things, like romances that didn't happen. But
Did you really try to chat up a banshee?
No.
What did you say to her?
What did I say to her?
You were incredibly official and pontificating and didn't get to the
Yeah.
point, and so she chucked you out.
Yeah, basically.
You said hello over several sentences.
well, I mean, how many people are going to say they went to try and talk to a banshee and emerged fairly unsaved?
Exactly. That's an achievement. And you really did fight in the tunnel with the orcs, yes?
I did. We did.
They're ferocious warriors. There was only the 4 of you at that point.
Well, I'm true.
Oh, you had Droop at that point?
I think so.
He was pretty much manning the wagon. I wonder why I wasn't in the show.
Well, they had to do something to boost Cornelius up, so I bet some of that was you, right?
Oh, I get it now.
Thought you get it.
He does, as he looks at you.
Okay.
They made us the same character.
Yes, yes, they did.
And I'm
Oh,
Cornelius
I'm
is
sorry.
really proud.
I shouldn't be happy at
No.
that, should I?
That's exciting. What are you talking about, Drew?
No, no, no.
Yeah, well-
The Master's a great and powerful wizard. He's a nobleman. He's not a goblin.
I'm sure he's very proud, right, Cornelius?
I think that the group should have been represented as he was.
I agree, but you're very proud to be lumped in with him, aren't you?
Come on, you gotta get your weekend visiting rights, Cornelius. You've got to present a unified front for the betterment of raising the kid, so you're a good influence and therefore should see him more often. Would have been fun to have an action figure of me. I wonder
Well,
what I would have done. Maybe you pull the ears and it yells or something. Or you could put like a swingy arm on so I could throw stones, because that's what I did. I didn't know
did
magic
not.
back then.
true enough, but he did knock that skeleton, that flying skull out.
You did take down that spider with shocking grasp.
Yeah. That's because I'm an apprentice of a wizard. Wizards are incredibly powerful.
Yes,
I-
they are.
I'm not yet. I'm still just an apprentice, but I maybe one day.
You're getting there, Droop. You're doing a good job.
I can't even get my spells right.
But even if it's a mistake, as long as it's a successful mistake, and frequently it is,
He's sort of looking down, just playing with the Calvin figure. It has a removable ruff. Something that Cornelius has never worn. And then after a little bit of time, as you guys continue to sit there, the MC comes back out, sits at the bar. No doubt Zarzul's head follows him the entire way, predatory.
Yep.
If you just imagine between the benches, there's just this kobold head with wide eyes poking up between them now and again, getting closer.
I'm going to talk to him.
But then also,
Where did you get
hang on.
that suit?
But also, out of costume, but still recognizable, are some of the actors. Mainly the ones who played the party members. And man, when he's not hunched over, the Goliath playing McGurn is huge. He's still a head taller than the tall elf who was playing Cornelius. Oh, hello, little man. Yes, I got this at a very fine establishment. Custom made, though. It was by the Fuggleclumps. Do you know of them?
I've heard their name. I must go visit them. It's just simply amazing.
Ah, but remember, you'll need to bring a lot of coin. This was incredibly expensive, and that's why I protected it with my life.
Oh, interesting. I shall have to go talk to them. May one inquire, how much was this?
I mean, it's a bit of a filthy thing to ask, but you do seem genuinely enthusiastic about it, so... Plus, you're small, so maybe, Come here.
Yes.
He just whispers in. 1,500 gold pieces.
Ooh,
No.
I'll have to go see them. It's simply amazing.
It is. Now remember, do not tell anyone the price of that.
Of course, friend.
Good. And please, enjoy the show, enjoy the bar. Be sure to spend wisely.
Oh, I did enjoy. It was so much fun finding out about my friends.
I can see that
Oh,
your
boy.
friends?
Oh god.
Yes. I point over to the party.
Drunk
Did any of us
kobold.
hear that? Did any of us hear that?
Yeah, it's a pretty empty room and he is not talking quietly.
Rain is again falling over and
great.
stitching.
He's also pointing directly at you guys, probably standing in a bar stool while he's doing it.
I point at Siegfried and I just say sit.
You imply he's ever gotten out of that seat.
Oh, I thought you said he got up.
It's up to him.
Now, do I have a smoke bomb?
You can
You have-
shout smoke bomb and run.
No smoke
it-
bomb.
I just walk up to Sasu and said, "Okay, friend, I think you had a little too much." I just whisper to the MC. Sometimes it's also what he smokes. He gets trouble differentiating between reality and theater.
Well, it just shows he knows how to have a good time. It's fine, really. You have a very refined accent.
Fine.
Yes. Come on, Starsoul. It's time for bedtime. And that's
You're
not
Cornelius
pushing him.
Sent! His smile is huge. It is a wonderful honor to meet a great hero. We had to change the name, of course, for, production reasons, but I feel like I have come to know you so well over these past weeks of performing.
Have you now?
Well, there was a lot to the script we had to chop away or put aside, because of course, this is the entertainment business. We need to update for the market. We need to keep appraised of our audience. But I still read it.
Voice pipes up from below. Is there any way we can get the uncut script?
I'm afraid you will have to talk with the publisher of the script. But then, he is obviously a friend
we
to
will
the...
talk to him. Don't you worry.
Yes, exactly. You know Under a Rock Seeker. He is a great playwright.
Where can we find this fine fellow?
Last I heard, he is still on the Sword Coast in Phandalin itself.
Well, we'll have to go see him next time we're through. Excellent.
He's so
Thank you,
sloshed he's
friend.
forgotten he's met him.
Yep.
He's the one who sent... Well, he sort of sent you out on the quest in the first place. He was there when Sildar hired you all. Are you here with the others?
I'm assuming he's they're
Mr.
still
Cornelius,
over there.
yeah.
Well, some of them.
I start pointing to Malgern and Siegfried.
Amazing, it's almost the entire group. Please, come over, I will get you drinks, please.
Go Go get a drink, Malgern.
At this point, I think
Yeah, I'll
neither
go
of
get a
them.
drink. I'll go get a drink.
Let's see. Damn it, I had them written down here somewhere. Yes, there we go. There we go. McGruel, Calgary, come over here, come over here, come on, come on, come on. And along comes the legless Goliath and the incredibly sharpened elf who played Cornelius. The ladies, they are actually getting prepared for their next set, so they will not be able to join us, but... Behold, Calgary, this is the man you are playing! And he looks at you with a little bit of disapproval. Oh, you are the one I must accredit my starring success on. Thank you.
No, no. Thank you.
I will have a white wine. As he just sort of glides past you. He was not all that positive when we had to trim the cast a little.
I feel for him.
But it must be said, Kelvin is our most popular character in the show. People love to see the rich who are a little bit silly. You know, we have the nobles in their great gates and big walls and massive houses, so it's nice to get a little jab at them now and again, and he's still a very competent wizard and man, as I'm sure you are yourself. Besides,
Oh yes, he is a great wizard.
Besides, I must be honest, the crowd would not be that responsive to a sympathetic goblin. But it looked perfect to just blend the two roles together.
Has he seen Droop at this point?
Nope. He is squarely focused on you guys, the immediate bar. Droop is still sitting there playing with his figures.
Hey, Droop, let's
Fair
go
enough.
over to the bar.
I'm not allowed to drink.
No, you don't have to drink. Let's go join the conversation.
I'll come along, sure. And he just sort of walks behind you slightly. And the elf has very much the same kind of expression as Cornelius has had for a fair bit, as he sips his wine, taking a great nose of it. Yes, they love seeing a fancy, pompous moron go into a silly coward that screams. It's a delightful role to play. This is exactly what I was trained to do. Oh, do not be so sour here. Look at your tips already as he just piles out of gold, and you just see the elf's face become a little less unreadable, a little more clear as his sort of brow rises and features sort of soften, and slowly just to bring them coin by coin towards him. Still, it's nice to play a farce now and again for the children's sake. McGruel, meanwhile, just waddles on up. Now he's actually got a crutch underneath him as well. And just give a big, resounding slap on the back of Malgern in his armor. So give me an athletics check. Because he is not holding back.
Ow. Ooh.
You stumble forward a little bit, but you manage to keep most of your footing. It's not a hurt, but it's a resounding clang. As one of his bracelets hits against you. You big bald-bearded bastard! It's a fantastic part for me! I've always wanted to do a fantastic brazen warrior! You've got me to say all kinds of amazing things. You're a fantastic lot, you are! Give us a hug! He just pulls you right on in.
I'm kind of stunned. I just...
Love the hat, by the way. It's a great centerpiece.
Ah, yes, the hat, as I remember that it probably doesn't come off.
It also at no point was used for summoning vermin at all. No one mentioned it. It's just something he wore in the show. Now, can I see it? Come on, you've bound to got on you. You've bound to carry it on you. Who'd ever leave that at home, eh? Come on, give us a bit of a look. It's the real thing, isn't it?
I just reach for the tosser. I kind of hold it out. You know.
Bloody hell, it's the real thing. He is absolutely in awe. He's not holding back any of his expression at all, which is weird because a lot of people think Goliaths are basically carved from stone in the same way that dwarves are forged from iron. They're meant to be, you know, very hardened people, but this one is just full-on emotion. He's just amazed. Oh, man. You've got to come with me up to the board so we can show them this so they can copy it perfectly, because that is a beautiful thing. Do you know Ermon's a big hero here? Big figure. Half my tribe actually fought alongside him in the great fight. Amazing it was. Didn't myself, wasn't born yet. But I heard he was just impossible to flummox. Just the greatest fighter.
Oh, he was amazing when I met him.
What? Oh, come on. How much have you had, mate? I know kobolds can live a while, but they don't.
He's dropping the important information. We've had an interesting foray.
A foray, eh? Let me see now.
Currently holding 2 empty bottles.
Yeah, a foray was it? Well, that's not as much of as a journey, but it's better than a jaunt. So tell you what, I'll fill one of the bottles.
He wants us to kill a dragon.
Oh, a dragon! Oh man, if you guys can do that, we could have a part 2.
What a hype.
Whoa.
No, it had to be a...
He's not paying attention to you at all, Zarzul, because Castalia came forward. As he just leans against the barn, you hear a lot of creaking wood. He brings one stump to cross in front of the other. I might be legless, but I can say this with confidence. You're stunning, lass.
Thank you. What a Hydra count.
A Hydra? That's, it it's one of them with a lot of heads, right? It can do, yes. Typically, they start with a few and then get... That's fantastic! Big-ass monster like that. You guys are going to tell Nundrol this, right? This guy writes dialogue so beautiful. I've always wanted to play a role like this, and you're still in the adventuring party, right? You're still part of this. I'll get to have him keep my role, right?
Yes, we've had so many great adventures already.
He's ignoring Zarzul, he's talking directly to Malgern.
Yeah, I feel bad for you, buddy.
What? What? What do you mean?
Algern, tell him.
Tell him what?
You're not traveling with us no more.
Oh. Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I'm just somebody who's come along. Thank God.
Yeah, I won't be staying around here much longer.
But you fought the Hydra with him, right?
Yeah?
Oh,
With
man.
the help of the marvelous wizard Cornelius Sen, Malgern grew to a magnificent size and wrestled the Hydra.
Oh, which one's corny?
So that's all points.
You beautiful, bloody, magical bastard, come here.
No, that's okay, that's okay.
Give me an acrobatics then. Hang on, though. You are wrapped in the arms of a fairly sweaty Goliath muscle man. You wonderful tossie! You forgot your bloody hat! Get him one from the rack!
Oh no.
You're a gem of a man, you are, and he plonks it on your head. You actually look good without the beard, you know. That'll be good for you, Calgary. Won't itch anymore.
How accurate is the hat? Just out of curiosity.
It's pretty much a 1-to-1, apart from the emblem, which is a little more farcical.
Excellent. I appreciate this mental.
Actually, because of the wear and tear on your own, this actually feels a bit nicer than your current hat. It's new. What a trooper he is! Nah, I'm not just saying that because of what you are now. I read the original bits. They were stunning, them.
Well,
Although-
then you, probably also, then you probably also know the help my assistant provided.
Oh, that was real? I thought Nundro threw that in for a bit of a lark.
No. It was certainly quintessential for anything for us completing the quest.
So, you've got an actual goblin? You bring him into the city, did you?
I point at Droop.
Droop is completely behind you.
I step aside to point at Droop.
He continues to move with you.
Droop.
At most, an
You're
ear is
okay.
visible, but that's it. Oh, what a wee tyke. Come on out, lad. I won't hurt you. I'll only grab you with a hand. And he steps out with his clutch of figures. Oh, you got the whole bloody set. What a little trooper you are. Great little lad as he puts his hand down to ruffle up his hair, but it's fucking gigantic compared to his head. It's like 3 times the size he ruffles, and Droop nearly falls over, dizzy. Wow, you actually got a bloody goblin as an apprentice. That's a stunner, that is. Oh, we heard there's a nasty bunch of them coming up near the kingdom on the west and all, but I suppose he's an alright one. I mean, you saved him.
And he certainly also saved a few of our party members. In fact, he's responsible for the fellow over there pointing at Siegfried to even be alive.
Who's that one?
Siegfried.
You look better with tits, mate. Come on over here.
What was his name in the play? Yeah.
Frida.
Frida. Yeah. You should have said that's Frida.
Nope.
Come on, I'll get you a drink. Don't be sore.
I get up and wander over to the bar.
There's a champion, there you go. Give him a full one, he'll be fine. Nice beard on you too, that is proper dwarf, innit?
It's got some good length to it.
So you lot, the heroes of Vandale and all of you, except, I don't suppose you were one to run around in furs, were you, Mrs. Looks at Rain?
No, that was not me. I was not involved with this at all.
Ah, no
I'm
offense,
learning
didn't think
about
so.
secondhand.
That was
Oh, you better remember the name.
yeah. I don't remember the name, come to think of it.
I
My
don't
character
remember it
might,
either.
but I
Oh god, all 3 of them just going, we don't remember.
I do.
Good. Cornelius and Malgern. Getting very awkward. This is one time when your player has to know for your character to know.
I got it.
Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, I thought we yeah, Kendra.
Kindra, right. Not Karen, okay. I only got that one when the part was edited. She didn't say a whole lot till they had that dialogue in. She must have been a right raver, her. Hey. You were more than friends, right? Right? He gives you a few jabs with his hand.
Who's he jabbing?
Malgern.
I'm just gonna give him a smirk. Yeah, like let him believe this. Let him believe this. Yeah. Okay, cool.
She looked like she could have done better than a Goliath woman. Could have took me right off my feet. See? As he raises a stump. On that note, as he leans back against the bar, it creaks horribly. He grabs another drink and looks from Cornelius to Siegfried. You want to tell us about that little scene with the ghouls? Because that wasn't no edited piece, that was in the original script.
Wait. Hang on. What scene are we talking about here?
The kissing.
A bit where you sucked face with him.
Oh no, that was Droop.
Oh!
Wait, what?
Wait, he meant...
Yeah,
Really?
he sucked face with Droop.
What?
Wait a minute. Isn't he a kid?
Okay, let me correct some things.
This is all you.
The kissing
It's all
part
you,
did not
buddy.
happen. This kissing part did not happen. The shoving the healing potion down a unconscious Siegfried did happen.
Because I asked the party, would Malgern run in and save him, and they all said no. Oh, right. So, you lot never had a little trip on the other side, eh? Because, I mean, Frida, you could have done worse. Look at him. Fancy boy. Talks nice. And without saying anything, he gets Siegfried a second drink, to make up for it. A little silent apology for ribbing him. This is wonderful. I have so many questions I could ask all day, but we are got show again in another 45, so tell you what, open invitation. You guys want to see show again? You want to hang out here? Half cover charge. It'll be fine. Your goblin can get in for free. Tell you what, I'd charge you less if you'd let your devil woman come up on stage.
I just look at Castalia.
I'd be fine for it.
I'll even drop it lower if you'll let your dwarf come up on stage without the armor. We need some burly types to let the women have a bit of fun during the night. And I tell you, they get crazy. You earn a lot of gold.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Don't say yes, mate. I used to be 9 feet tall before I joined up on that. I walked out on stage and I kept pulling until something came off. And again, he wiggles his stump. Probably joking. And yeah, there's a lot of chatter, a lot of regaling. They do ask a lot about what your current journey is, or what you've done so far. Like, what happened to the heroes of Van Dalen after? They have to know. There's not written in the script, after all.
I mean, I do see an opportunity.
That is, the second you do that, Cornelius, so does Calgary. It is a perfect imitation of your sigh.
How drunk is Zazzle?
Honest? Actually, give me a con save.
Let's see, how drunk is Zazzle? This is going to be, there we go.
You are supported entirely by the fact your tail is still in a bottle.
Okay.
At some point you sat back and passed out, but your eyes are open. And no one's really noticed.
Okay, how grateful are the rest of the party? I can't speak at the moment.
Very.
I have all of Zazzle's coinage.
That'd be a stealth check at least, wouldn't it? Versus perception.
You're out cold. The sleight of hand is to show that he can get into your pockets without you noticing, and you're out cold.
Damn it.
So you take
Here
all
goes
the
23
coins.
Here goes
I
23
take any
gold
coins
and
or any
7
magical items that I can get my
Oh,
hands on.
come
Make
on
sure
now,
he doesn't
that's
lose them.
low.
I'm gonna give them back once he sobers up, but not
All
until
right.
he does.
Safekeeping.
You can get everything in his pockets, but... I mean, you guys didn't come with your weapons, did you? Or stashed them?
I'm assuming we're not heavily armed at this point.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got all your potions, all your coinage. Any other sundry small magical item you've got, but you've still got your bow.
Okay.
Because he can't really take that off you.
Did he get my ring or not?
22's pretty good. I'll say he got your ring.
Damn it, I've only got my bow left. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't even used the ring really, but
You've lit a few fires.
it's useful for lighting fires.
So yes, what did the great heroes do after they succeeded in winning over the coast? I'm all ears.
Got blind
Unfortunately,
drunk and spouted bullshit.
We spent a lot of time fighting necromancers.
Unfortunately, Zazul can't regale them with the totally awesome tale that there was.
I'll give you a second con save because you're desperately wanting to chip in here. Because you're not really comatose. It's more like your brain just can't move anything. You have the power of speech. Nothing else.
We fought the necromancers and the spiders, and it was awesome.
In the great...
Oh yeah, we fought necromancers like this one's boyfriend.
Oh, fuck off!
Oh, this looks like tense moment. Please, keep talking.
She joined us on the second quest. It is awesome.
You joined in on the second quest. You're drunk.
What do you mean? We got there together.
Yeah.
The awesome squirrel man gave me quests to join these fellows. It was ordained by gods or something. I don't know.
Yes, is very... Yes, is good. Yeah, you don't want to cross the squirrels. Is he alright?
Hilariously enough, he's actually accurate. I wouldn't say that it's a good way of explaining it, but he is actually accurate.
Tell you what, little friend, let's just wedge you in here where you won't fall over. There you go, there's a good lad.
Squirrel man had best pipeweed. Ultimately awesome.
When you sober up, perhaps I will, tell you otherwise. By the way, Zarzul, his fucking suit is magical right now.
I love your suit.
You will have to get your own. I am attached to this one. It's already in a pre-established relationship.
Ah. Damn it. Oh well. Skeleton minotaurs don't grow on trees. That was fun.
Bony cows. That sounds like a fun one. We
They
could,
were huge!
we could change those to ogres. It would be very useful for play, yes.
No, ogres later.
You fought ogres as well.
Bloody ballistas! Ballistas firing trees! Fucking big trees, man! Siegfried just about got done in.
He's just been wedged into the corner between the bar and the wall. Just wedged in there, his head bobbing away, sometimes smacking against the wall.
I look over to Malgern. Are you sure you don't want to stay with us so you can babysit him?
I already have to babysit. And it pays
And the
better.
Hydra. The bloody Hydra. So many heads.
Oh yes, tell me about the Hydra. That one sounds very promising. Sorry, I've had a few myself.
Oh, that
Bloody
would be
dwarf
amazing.
as big as a Goliath. He was freaking huge.
A dwarf as big as a... You just saw that today, you silly fool!
No, bigger than you. He's freaking huge.
As the MC looks at himself, who is completely normal human, and then to Megrin, who is the actual Goliath.
He bloody wrestled a Hydra.
Who was this
He
dwarf?
great friend. So Jin.
Yeah, you basically
gesture in
point
the
your snout.
direction of Balgun. Him.
He is
wrestled
normal.
a bloody
He is
hydra.
normal dwarf size. Maybe even just solid average.
No, as a matter
Magic.
of fact, yeah, he
Magic
was,
do anything.
Oh, we could do something with that. Yes, that is very simple.
Bigger than Goliath. He's freaking huge.
I'll point out that also our wonderful goblin mage here decided to cast birthing tremors and made a very confused Hydra.
I made a mistake.
It was actually a very useful mistake.
The goblin. He saved us all. He has cast powerful magic. That one.
No, I'm not. I'm just an apprentice. Please don't pick me up.
A pair of powerful mages they be.
There's just spittle going everywhere now. People's shins are getting soaked. You feel like a powerful dragon again, Zarzul.
Oh no.
No, we're not doing that. He's not that wasted.
And
That would-
Wolfgang, Wolfgang, the majestic beast he was, fighting side by side with me.
I really wish I was writing all this down. This does sound like a fun time. But we'll need to do something about the dog. Dogs are very difficult things to act with on stage.
Not dog, wolf.
Wolves are dogs. I'm not bringing Wolf on stage. I will do a painted dog.
Big dog then at least. Big.
Oh yes,
majestic
yes,
dog.
of course. Or maybe small dog.
No.
It'd be good for comedy.
We could do stuff. Exactly, we could do a stuffed doll as well on merch.
And then there's Pufflesworth.
Now
Not
that
mine.
that sounds like a brand already, my friend.
Owlbear. Ferocious beast it is, destroying everything in its path.
He's a baby! He's not ferocious!
I don't know. He did a number on that one room.
Well, yeah, he's ferocious against rooms. That's about it.
Yeah, he hasn't actually done a single point of damage, I think, on anything else.
Yes, he did. No, he did 1 point. He did 1 point
I
of
thought he
damage.
killed something.
No.
Yeah. And he killed things off stage.
Yeah.
So we're
With Droop.
Beautifully, immaculately groomed owlbear. At Rain's side, protecting her against all dangers.
As
No,
opposed
I
to screaming,
think-
no! An owlbear, now there is something in... You'll say... You're the woman who has it?
Yeah.
How do you keep such a thing controlled? They are ferocious beasts.
She doesn't.
Well,
He's a
you
baby.
said it.
He's a baby. He's not a big owlbear. He's a baby. Currently, the wolf is watching him.
We could perhaps dress up a piglet, maybe.
Fluffy ball of doom.
He's not Doom. He's adorable.
A doomable.
And he does rather like the dwarf, too. He misses him.
Owlbear looked up to Dwarf as father figure.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
He too was a bundle of fur and unbridled rage. So, let me press you on this then. What about the wet hotness you have there?
Ah. She's an amazing dancer.
I'm looking forward to seeing that for myself
Moves
as well.
Moves like glistening water across the stage. Oh, amazing.
It's a worrying noise he made as he looked square at Castalia.
I'm gonna die laughing.
Keep going.
She learned it, you know, from God, can't remember the name, but they were awesome teachers.
The Vistani.
Vistani.
Oh,
Is
my
that
people!
the name? Yes, she learned to dance from them.
I
It was
will
a
definitely have to
magical
see
day.
you on stage then. I must see what the moves are
And
currently.
And a glorious night. Wolfgang danced through the evening. Oh, it was a glorious thing.
He did pretty well. So you are all a great party of comrades, yes?
We'll go with that.
They are all friends of Zazzle. Everyone friend of Zazzle.
Who
You
is
are
Zazzle?
friend
Only when
of
he's
Zazzle.
drunk.
I am Zazzle.
Oh,
I'm the
now this
leader.
makes much more sense. So you barely even know each other, huh?
I am the great Zazzle Gidim. I'm the greeter of the Zazzle, the Gidim tribe. Yes, yes. There are many of us.
As many as he needs. Perhaps even an evil brother who's never been accused of a crime.
Yep. Insta Gidim. Yes, he's a friend.
If you are Vistani trained, I will have to see that, I'm afraid.
I would be happy to perform on stage.
Oh, it does not need to be on stage, just maybe we do practices and rehearsals during the day, so you show up, show them even moves, it'll be great. I really need to see what they're doing these days. I've not been with my people for decades now.
I tap the bar.
The bar also laughs.
If-
Draw your weapons. It's roll initiative. Yep, you tap the bar, go on.
Yeah, so signal she could dance on the bar.
I look down to Droop and say, "This is why you don't drink."
I'm getting that. Well, the ball's in your court because I've talked a fucking show. Give me a chance for my throat to recover.
Well, it has certainly been a night.
I must admit it has been, as he pulls out this gigantic fucking pocket watch. It is huge, it is clinking horribly. It was actually silent while in his pocket, but now he brings it out, it is dominating the soundscape. You're
Is it
right.
shiny.
Yes, it is very shiny.
Zazzle is once again entranced.
Yep. It has a big dangling shiny chain as well that's catching the light.
Is it
But-
golden in color?
Yes, it is very gold. You are also
Yes, Zazzle.
utterly paralyzed by inebriation.
Probably for the best.
You are quite right. We have 10 minutes until the next stage begins. We start letting people in. So, you are fully welcome here during the day. I will try to be here when you are. Thank you so much for letting us meet you all. Maybe then, Karen and Frida will also be available for you. But tonight they have to perform, so I cannot help with that. And then Megrun is up on stage after that.
Thank you, friend. You are a friend of Gidim Clan. Yes, yes you are.
I am sure I am. You are also mostly welcome here, but please go easier on the drinks. We have children here. Please think of the children. Do you require help getting him home?
We'll manage.
No.
He's light.
No, it should be easy enough to get him back.
And I start summoning a floating disc.
I'm told I'm easy.
Oh God.
Do not go saying that too much, depending on where you are, my friend. You should see the kobold women we have here during the dance sessions. They are ravenous. They would rip you limb from limb. But you would be smiling afterwards, I'm sure.
Oh yes. Thank you, friend. Has been good night.
It has been indeed. Megrin helps lift him up onto the disc and just plonk him there. He's a funny little thing, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm flying.
God.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you've managed to keep up consistent company considering what your party was previously. He will be a perfectly consistent part of the next play, I'm sure.
Yes.
Quite.
I bet you'll be looking forward to having that fellow at the stage.
I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but I wouldn't mind if you retired.
I wouldn't either.
On the disc, Zazzle sits up and says, "Onward to glory!"
Onward to bed.
Glory will not be available for another 3 hours. You're going to bed, my friend.
Alright, we are leaving.
Onward to bed!
Yes.
There we go, buddy.
Come along, group. It's way past your bedtime.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Tall Green following a little behind, trying to get Castalia's notice. Well, we were meant to talk a bit of intelligence and what to do in the city, but that was a fun night.
Oh, absolutely. I just wish I had heard it more from my friends than about the stage show.
They do seem a little reluctant about their reputations, don't they?
It just strikes me as odd. I mean, they're heroes.
Well, no, that's unfair. They definitely did do a good job. So, what do you think? In maybe a year's time, you yourself could be portrayed on this stage.
I cut my chin and close my eyes, and a smile drifts across my face. I should hope so.
Though, tilts his head a bit. I don't think they'd ever find such a proper performer to replace you.
Well, maybe one day I can retire and take up the role myself.
It would definitely be fun to see.
Absolutely.
So, shall we actually try to have a little, cooperation sometime? Perhaps the play was the wrong venue for this. But it was fun.
Absolutely. And yes, we most certainly should.
I have tomorrow off, actually. They're still trying to repair the roadway, so there's not a lot of work for me at the checkpoint. Would you like to meet around lunchtime?
Certainly.
Hang on a second. He digs out his map and points. Let's see. Well, no real point going back to the Welcome Dawn or anything, so let's see here. Yes, here we go. The Foam-Crowned Hammer. And he points to this one. See you around midday or so?
Certainly.
Of course, you can bring the rest if you want.
I'll
Possibly.
have to see if they want to.
I'm not so sure the
That
kobold
is-
will be ready for it. Well, have a good night, Castelia. And off he walks.
You too, Robert.
Thank you. He doesn't turn around, but then you do, and you realize what you're looking at. It's a kobold on a disc. It's a wizard facing that he was made a buffoon of. It's a goblin who is sleepy but still playing with his action figures. It is a half-elf cleric who is just giggling like hell. And the most embarrassed sneaky man you've ever seen in your life. And a dwarf. In a fetching hat. What a fun night that was for you all.
It's just how I remembered it.
I'm still mad at you for the part about the door. And the kids yelling. That was a little low.
So, Mike Gorn, I presume you're heading back to your mercenary company?
Yeah, and I'm gonna have some choice words with my comrades about that play.
Either way, it was good to see you again.
Likewise, looking at some of you. And
What I love is it's been 2 days.
has it only been 2 days?
Nah, it has actually been more than that.
That'd be pretty funny.
Been almost nearly a week.
Well, if your company ever dissolves, we're not hard to find.
I'm just jokingly like, the company ever dissolves. Apparently, I've got a career in show business.
There is the idea, of course, Malgern. Now that you're not part of a party, one-man show. The tales of McGurn Toravir. You could make that Goliath rich.
Crockett, holy shit.
Yes.
Most excellent idea.
I've even
good
got a
dwarf.
hat.
That is a fabulous hat.
He still has his beaver pelts. His 6-month-old beaver pelts.
At this point, I remember that I have the hat that they put on me, and I put them on the snout of
Zarzul.
South, yeah.
Oh, good, he wanted one of those.
I
I
mean, well, Droop got a full set, so it's only fair.
And I only him Malgern. Oh well.
As Droop holds up the shapely Frito figurine and holds it near where Siegfried is slinking along. I don't know about this.
It's close enough. Trust me, I was there.
And so you continue marching along. Malgurn forgetting to go to the gate. Instead just, you know, following into old routines, following along, and then through the craftsman's quarters. There is more patrols, there's a lot less traffic. People are giving you a bit of a wary eye because there's a fucking magical disc floating with a kobold on it. A few do stop you, have a look, and just say, what are you up to, mates?
Just
trying to-
transporting a very drunk kobold.
Looking a little bit
I'm
like...
the king of the world.
He is
Sure you
indeed the
are.
Lizard King.
Just be careful, you looking like a bit of a free-floating sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? Oh, did you go see the show?
We
The
did.
show was excellent.
It's a good one, I took my little
Most
tart to see it.
entertaining.
He loves that wizard. Oh, fucking fool he is.
It rains on the ground again.
Sorry, I should watch my language in front of a little one. Oh, that's a goblin.
Hey, that's a wizard. That's a wizard and a goblin. The wizard is awesome. The goblin is cool. They're all good people and friends of Zazul.
Alright, let me just help you with that. And he just pulls the hat to sort of wedge a bit more onto the snout. There you go. Don't go waking up the folks around you, alright? People got to sleep around this time.
Thank you, sir. We'll make it through quickly.
Safe travels, have a good night.
You as
Thank
well.
you.
Good night, friend.
When you get to this checkpoint, you are stopped because the gates have been closed. What's your business here at this time of night, folks?
Going home.
Are your residences?
Yes.
Whereabouts do you live?
In the old brothel.
I'm sorry, it's just not seeing what that place looked like. Have a good night in your vermin hole. Go on, let him in.
We were friends.
No one fucking admit to that as a lie.
I knew that would get us through.
And there it is, your home. The doors are still attached. Wolfgang is looking out the window. You can't really see him because of a scum on it. And as you step inside, there's a lot of chewed wood. There's a lot of skirting boards that once existed that were rotted and have been ripped apart.
I knew it.
As we go to the Home Sweet Home map. For no real reason. Pretty much the whole back wall here has been gnawed on. Just the skirting boards, though. Pufflesworth has a face full of sawdust. Wolfgang is standing on a small pile of rubble to try and get away from the floor. Also, Malgern, as you look to see Wolfgang, one side of him is shaved. He's completely bald on his left.
Yeah, I find this a little unnerving. I mean, it'd be different if Cornelius was bald on one side. That's an animal.
There's a difference?
Yeah, I said Cornelius.
Yeah, no, there's a difference between Cornelius and an animal?
Yeah, animals are clean.
Yes. Yes, I respect the human soul.
The night is getting dark. The home is also incredibly dark because there is no lighting in it at all. A faint glow from the disc as Zarzul is carried in.
Cast a few dancing lights around just so people can see where they're walking.
As one of the lights floats up onto the second floor, there is a horrendous shadow of many great spindly legs quickly scuttling along to the left.
We missed something.
Wolfgang?
Wolfgang is right beside you.
Pufflesworth?
He's got a face full of sawdust near the back door, where he scratched at it.
I go to pick him up.
Well, Malgern, offer some cleaning before you leave.
I'm sorry. What did he offer me? I'm sorry.
It's a clean.
Cleaning as in whatever that thing that we don't see is.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. What's going on?
You didn't see the shadow
The
thing?
worst advertisement to stay ever.
Uh,
You want to stay and help us clean up this house?
oh. Okay. I just wasn't fully wrapping my head around what was good.
Hey, brah, you want to sleep on this couch? We're moving in an apartment tomorrow. You're going to help with that, right?
I should probably, the company there might be moving. Yeah, I should probably get back. I don't want my pay to get docked or anything. I need all the money I can get, especially after tonight, as he remembers how much he spent on drinks.
Most of it was Zarzul's, but yes.
They don't know that. I mean, they're stupid. You saw the play. And I'm trying to, like, inch my way towards the door. Like, yeah, no, that's a great offer and all, but I should...
I mean, you know if you run, they won't be able to catch you.
This is also true. I still am the fastest person here.
But we could just magically command you to stop.
Might not work.
Are you prepared for that?
No.
Exactly. I'm gonna call your bluff.
Well, guess we're gonna have to go up and clean out whatever was hiding up there. Okay, guess I'm going to have to go up there and clean out what's all up there.
I'll go out with you.
I don't live here. Don't look at me.
I'll go out with you. Holy bananas.
As you get up...
Onward to glory!
Yeah.
Oh, that's a point, actually. Zarzul, you hit the floor.
Yep.
Because Tensor's disc is concentration, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he cast lights, there was a thud as Zarzul hit the floor.
Onward to glory! Yeah.
I don't know. Are you still conscious after that fight? Yeah, you know how far he was.
Yeah, he only fell an inch or two.
Oh, okay.
Enough to bruise, not enough to damage. So as Cornelius reluctantly heads up the stairs, in the lead. The only volunteer, apparently.
No,
No,
I said I'd go.
I said I followed
Move your
I was
token.
following him.
Move your token.
Oh, where am I?
Okay, how are you going upstairs? Let's see, let's drag up Brain. There we go.
Oh, there we go. I was about to say I couldn't find myself.
That's better. There we go. There we go.
Really?
Cornelius, you can't help but feel this is the wrong way around. as the deadly tiefling fighter with her enchanted whip stands behind you, as does the woman who keeps denying armor but is armed with magical power from the gods themselves.
In fair share, I have not moved up these stairs and have very little understanding of this house beyond the first floor.
Wolfgang is dragging the kobold around.
He wouldn't put you in danger, though. Well, he might.
Actually, do I?
Oh,
Wolfgang
Rain!
is kobold.
Rain, I have a ring for you.
Huh?
Oh, I don't.
Ring?
I don't need a ring.
What, of animal talking?
Ooh!
Oh no.
You have a ring of animal talking?
And I throw the ring at her. In the way that she'll be able to catch it.
On her face. Can she catch it in her eyelid? Go for it.
You should have rented it to her.
Oh, nope, it's already on my finger.
You haven't caught it yet.
Oh. Okay, what roll am I doing to catch it?
Give me a straight dex.
No!
Ping, 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 ping.
Well, then I immediately go chasing after it.
Alright, now give me an athletics.
So does Pufflesworth.
No!
Oh yeah.
No, Zarzul, you cannot fucking move.
That's why I got this advantage, isn't it?
Nope.
Nice try.
Alright, so chasing after it. Do I get to it?
You've got a chance here. No. Well, I suppose
What do I
you
roll?
give me another roll, actually. I forgot that was the old roll. Give me a new one.
Straight up dex.
Damn it.
Oh.
Rain is able to muscle past, strangely, all of you who took an interest in this ring.
Well, it was Dex and
Yeah.
Strength.
You managed to muscle aside Pufflesworth, who got the closest to it, trying to bite down on the ring, because it's a shiny, fast-moving object.
Does he get her hand instead?
Nah. She's got a 19 dex. And you managed to get the ring in hand. He's still pawing at you, though. Nipping at your shoe.
Actually, you know what? She can definitely have it.
Right, well after that, can we please deal with whatever's upstairs?
Absolutely.
I'm just hoping they don't notice me. I'm here.
Well, I'm not gonna force you to come help.
You might
Smell
not.
good, Mackie. There's Malkin sidling towards the doorways.
And as Cornelius starts walking up the stairs.
I mean, where even is the door?
Here.
And here.
That's oh, I can't. It's not the token.
You can't move your token?
Yeah.
No, that's because I just dragged it off. I usually just copy-paste these things.
Yeah. Let me see if I.
It's okay. Nope. There we go, it's saved. Nope, don't need this doppelganger. There we go. You can move this one.
Okay, you just okay.
As you poke your head up, Cornelius, looking through the banisters, you don't see anything immediately.
Is there something up there?
Well, we don't know yet.
Let me go get my weapons first, then.
As he just continues to lay there. I'll only be a moment. And he continues to lay there in place. You are paralytic, Zarzul. The top, as you flick your dancing lights around, you don't see anything. Seems clear.
Where's the hole in the roof?
It was over here. Over these two rooms specifically, I think. Should probably mark it down.
Did we see which direction the scuttling went?
The scuttling went that way.
Okay, well then we're gonna walk that way.
Give me a perception check.
From all of us, or?
Whoever's keeping an eye out, really. There's a bit of water in Casalia's eyes. Or she's just thinking of Robert. It's water in her eyes. On this wall, you can see about the size of a coin, a spider.
No.
No. It's a spider. It is a perfectly normal house spider.
That seems a little odd that it should be able to be noticed moving up here.
Well, it's because your light cast a shadow on the wall.
Yeah, but it's a coin-sized spider.
Yeah. It
I
was.
couldn't notice it.
It was here. The light was cast here, projecting shadow on the wall, basically.
Yeah, but still, that's a little huge for something that small.
Well, light works in mysterious ways. But no, you can get gigantic shadows like that.
I'm just gonna check for certainty. It isn't just a regular. There happens to also be a regular spider here. Well, maybe the orc starts catapulting spiders in every now and then.
Yes. It just keeps sending over Black Widows. Maybe I could bring out a monster here. You do notice one thing, however. The spider is black.
Oh.
Which is probably a perfectly natural coloration of spiders in this region.
Yeah.
You're not sure.
That's Wolfgang's nature check, by the way. Intelligence.
Woof woof bark is what he communicates to the party.
Excellent.
Well, Rain has the animal talking ring on, yes.
3 uses per day.
And
You want to talk to a spider, Rain?
why would I talk to a spider? It's a
You want to
spider.
hear what Wolfgang is saying?
Just walks
Okay.
past him.
Oh, wait. Oh, Wolfgang over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, why not? What do you want me to ask him?
It's not a question thing. It gives you a little time to talk to them.
Alright. So I guess I make a use.
Okay? It's a spider.
There's a spider, good lady. There's nothing to be feared.
It's just a regular spider, right? I'm
It's-
not missing anything.
I'm a wolf.
yes,
I
sir.
believe it's just a spider.
Yes,
I-
ma'am. It's just a spider. This is a normal thing.
I look over to them. It's just a spider.
Alright, then.
It tries to get away from you, Cornelius.
do anything about the small spider.
Yeah, it just crawls up onto the roof, out through one of the gaps, and away.
Ma'am, tell the good man to do not fear the spider. It is nothing to be fearful of.
Why do I feel like Webgun's been role-playing a little too hard as Zarzul? I'm pretty sure Wolfgang's not meant to be drunk as well.
I may have had a bit drink, yes.
Yes. There may be 2 rum bottles there when there should have been half of one.
No, there was a rum bottle and now there's half of one.
It's just a normal spider. We don't have to worry about it. Let's go back downstairs.
And I walk downstairs and start preparing the tips inside in the hut. Or Cornelius.
Yep. As you cast
home away from home.
As you cast Cornelius's tiny shack.
Yeah.
You have a home within a home. One that's actually furnished once Droop's done his work. As he sets... And he thinks about it for a moment, he makes a little end table, and then sets his little figures on top of it. Arranging them, turning them, setting them in place. Then a thought reel hits him, and he starts putting them back in his pocket. Then he just goes about, you know, putting up more portraits. He can't help himself. A few of the artistic depictions are of... still of a child's kind of artistic ability. Depictions of what happened in the show. Although Cornelius is in a much more favorable light in all these. There's very much a come at me bro moment between him and Glassstaff.
Oh, did you mean Harmon cost?
No. No, you also had a Wizard Duel of Glassstaff, but it was Magrun that took him down. That's a good one, that. He also adds some of the other party members into the other scenes.
Did you have fun, Drew?
Yeah, this is nice. I liked what they did with their illusions, so this... I could do this. I could draw, I think. I mean, I'm kind of not drawing because I'm using magic, so... Yeah, am I cheating? I don't know how this works.
No, I think you're doing pretty good.
But is it... Am I drawing? Or am I using magic to... I don't know this.
You're creating art. I'm not sure if it'd be drawing, but you are creating things.
Okay, I can go with that one. And then we do this one. Look, see, I had a Pufflesworth in this one.
Aww. Oh, speaking of, can I still talk to the animals?
You can.
Well, in that case, I go, alright, Pufflesworth, let's come on over here.
Food.
Oh, okay. You're hungry? Okay, hold on. I go to get him some food.
Just wolfs it on down. Completely filling his face with whatever you put in front of him. Sits back, there's a bit of a weird sort of burpish noise from him. Looks up at you with those massive eyes. Food.
Okay, more food.
This is exactly what I expected.
Yep.
He starts to eat, and then partway through he starts to sort of slow down a bit. Sort of rubbing his face in it as he's kind of forgetting to chew. And then just sort of slumping a bit. Rolls over onto his side with a huge gut. Just sitting there with the legs out. Then goes to sleep. Because he is, after all, a baby.
Yeah, he's cute.
For now.
For now. Probably for tomorrow as well, and for the next few days. Did you know that owlbears can live centuries? They only mature when they're 50 years old.
Oh boy.
I feel that's probably perfect for brain. You didn't know
I doubt any of us will be around in 50
What
years.
What people
Knowing
don't
that the
know
only
is
reason
that
it's
they
already-
mature real quickly once they hit 50. And Pulseworth is actually 49.
That would be pretty
Well,
funny.
we didn't actually birth it from an egg, so we have no idea how old it actually is.
Yep. He might even be a runt. And, of course, of the many scenes he depicts, Droop does not draw the kissing scene. But there is a rather glorious portrait of Frida. Although she doesn't have a face, and there's a lot of details missing because he just used the figure as a basis. And then he makes a very small one for his bedside. It's just the original 4.
Aw.
Who he barely knew because he was concussed to hell. And no one healed him, no one helped him. They usually just left him at the wagon.
It's just a goblin.
He's a valuable party member.
He didn't even know where Cragmaw was.
And even though it's a little bit early, I think that'll do for tonight's session. We started a bit later, and one of our characters is already fucking in a bottle. This is also our usual
That
ending time.
was.
I'm fine.
Yeah. Give me the alphabet. Dwarven alphabet. Backwards.
While standing on one foot.
Zeta, Zulu.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Gamma.
Klaatu, Varata, Nikto. Come on. It's easy.
Tattoo rat.
The sad part is, when I'm playing a dwarf, I don't know the dwarven alphabet, so I can't correct any
Whoa.
of this. I can be like, yeah, Corpus is right.
Well, all they've got in the
Zazzle
PHP is
doesn't
the
know
symbols.
Dwarven. Zazzle has no idea what Dwarven is.
The only
One
one.
of the two Yeah.
He just suddenly starts speaking in Draconic, and then the house starts shaking.
So, everyone okay for
Oh,
next
he's
week?
Speaking in something.
Assuming the hurricane doesn't blow us away, yeah.
That's true. I might need replacements.
Again,
Alrighty.
'cause I definitely won't be here. The only reason I was here is because we were preparing for the hurricane.
Yeah, we sadly had a temporary appearance by Malgurn. One day the mouse will let him go.
Well, I mean, I can shoot you that day. We have vacation coming up in like a month.
Yeah, I'll be sure to throw a horrible fight for you guys.
Well,
Maybe-
you
Here
know,
I come to save the day.
on that day, we'll pull out the bloody bandana.
And then run away from Malgurn, who is stuck holding it.
Hey,
Alright.
Malgurn, go back
Good
to
luck,
your company.
shithead.
Here's a gift.
I don't
Now
understand.
run
Why-
and show it to them.
I'm just looking at this going, this is weird. Why is it, guys? Guys?
It's time to be a hero.
No,
But yes.
no, we give him a gift and tell him to only open it when he gets back to his company.
Oh,
It might work out.
because I wouldn't know anything about that. Is cruel. I really would just be like, yeah, sure. Oh, that's cute. They got me a gift.
Oh,
Next
yeah.
Next time I see
Favorite
Malkern,
bandana.
next time I see Malkern, he's missing an eye, missing a hand, and a grudge.
Oh yeah. Oh, so many grudges.
No, but see, I would explain it. I'm sure he'd be.
You explain it
he
while
knows
you're running
about the
away.
bandana.
No,
Doesn't he know
that
about the
happens to go
bandana?
back to my
Nope.
company.
No, he
he
was
knows.
there for the bandana.
No, I wasn't.
Oh
Yes.
dear.
It was his personal plot, and the fucker changed shifts and missed it.
Yeah, it's why I'd summon it, when he gets a chance that, he could get it. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's almost heroic that
You'd be
heroic dwarf fighter holding Tom's hammer, squaring off against the ancient foe of the dwarven weaponsmith and warrior.
He'll fucking die.
But I do like the idea of it just happening off screen, and I come back like missing an eye, missing a leg.
Missing a torso.
No, but I don't even introduce. Just like
don't even tell him it's gonna happen, and then like you're playing, it's a regular session, and then out of nowhere, Siegfried gets hit by a tosser.
Yeah. As Malgern walks onto the scene as a kobold wearing a dwarf's face.
Hello, friend.
Hello, friends. As he has to reach out to move the mouth by hand.
And press a windmill, the one they have a smithy to breathe air into the.
You just watch the cheeks puff up as the bellows inflate.
Yeah, to move his vocal cords.
But I'm now going to hit the button to end the stream. We'll be back next week with more Rescue at Raxis.